But also what happens, I used to work for a company where we used to run these assessments where, of course, we would impersonate to be HR or someone, and we'd call the employees, send an email and ask the employees that, hey, this is your performance review, you have not responded to it. Can you please access it
So
and
playing to be
respond to it?
part-time scammer.
Yes. Yeah, unpaid actually. But that being said, there were people who are like assuming that, okay, this is from HR department. There is sense of urgency, of course. Now they're clicking it. Now, if you see, there is MITRE attack framework for a reason,
Yeah.
right? The moment something like that happens and you click on an email or a link, what happens is of course data exfiltration definitely is the end
That's
goal,
almost the last
but
stage. Yeah.
yeah, of course that happens, but before that there's lateral movement, right? Moving from one laptop to the other, and then the lateral movement happening. It's such a big problem that it's not just okay. No one would just get I don't think a scammer would get anything if they just have Utkarshika's credentials. They want the company's data, they want certain sensitive information. Now what happens is, if I click a link, that means I'm also letting a scammer access my particular computer, laptop, or whatever, or can move laterally within the network, which is a very scary place, because now it's just not about you, it's about the organization or corporate as a whole.
Basically, scammers or hackers, it may be a hacker on the other end, they are looking for high value privilege accounts.
Yeah.
So if you see, all of your corporate software has role based access.
Yeah.
That based upon your nature of
Yeah.
work, based upon your assignment, you only have access to that part of the thing. But there are certain accounts which have higher access, let's say finance or HR or IT. IT has access to everybody's accounts. Now, if you can send them a mail and make them click on something, what starts is something called a cyber kill chain.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
and Lockheed Martin has a wonderful framework for
Yeah.
a cyber kill chain, which starts with this initial
Reconnaissance
access,
to-
recon
yeah.
to malware, to sending this malware to exfiltration and profit and so on. And the cyber crime economy has become a very modularized world, and it coordinates at will. And you would be amazed to know that 2025 figures for the cybercrime economy are $10.5 trillion.
Wow.
Where India is struggling to be a $5 trillion economy. This is, for you here, the third largest GDP in the world, which is cybercrime economy. And much of that also comes from corporate money.
Yeah.
That there are individuals which are getting scammed, but the corporate payouts are huge. Like you saw in the last episode, we talked about deepfakes, where at least we discussed two companies which did 20 million, 25 million payouts just
Yeah.
on deepfakes. So corporates are a huge target. So there is phishing, spear phishing, whaling, which is going on there. They're dedicatedly after accounts with higher privilege. They're harvesting data. They are using it as a foothold for the next attack. Also, to get an initial foothold in the organization, that you may click something which may lead to something which may have a dropper, which would drop a malware. The malware would sit there, and then it would start lateral movement getting into other computers in your network and start infecting the whole computer system.